Imagine a schoolyard, a flat ball, a rusty hoop. That's where it all begins for almost every great player. But between that court and Madison Square Garden, there's a journey that transforms not just your game, but your entire life. Today, I'm going to take you through that journey from the inside, level by level. What you feel, what you sacrifice, what you gain, and what you sometimes lose at every stage of basketball. Whether you're 12 years old with a dream or 30 years old with memories, this video is for you. Level 1, the neighborhood game. It all starts here, not in an air-conditioned facility, not with a certified coach. On the blacktop, the neighborhood game is ground zero, and paradoxically, it's often where the greatest players are born. Why? Because here, nobody asks you to perform. You play because you love it, and that raw love, with no pressure, no stakes, it builds something that no academy can ever teach you. Do you remember the first time? The sound of the ball on the asphalt, the sweat stinging your eyes, that first shot that goes in, and that feeling in your chest that nothing else in the world can replace. The blacktop teaches you resourcefulness. No coach, no system. You learn to read the game yourself, to adapt, to create. You discover natural competition. Rules get negotiated, conflicts get settled between players. You learn to assert yourself or get pushed around, and you very quickly understand the social hierarchy. On the playground, respect is earned point by point, not with a title, not with money, with your game. Allen Iverson grew up on the streets of Hampton, Virginia. It was that street ball, physical, unforgiving, that built his unique style. That crossover that drove NBA defenders crazy for 15 years. The playground doesn't teach you to play clean. It teaches you to play real. Level 2, the amateur club. You join a team and something changes. For the first time, you have a jersey with a number on your back. A coach who calls you by your name. Teammates who count on you. You're no longer alone with your ball. You're part of something, but that's also where the first big lesson hits, and it can be painful. You're no longer the best. On your block, you dominated. Here, there are other talents, and the coach makes choices. Some young players experience this moment as a betrayal. They quit. Others, the future greats, use it as fuel. The team teaches you to put the collective before the individual. For the first time, your personal interest has to step aside for the good of the group. That's one of the most important lessons in life. You also discover the relationship with authority. You have a coach. He makes decisions you don't always understand. Learning to trust, to question intelligently, to accept, that's a real-life education. And you start managing your ego. You're going to miss big shots. You're going to have bad games. How do you respond to that? That answer will define who you become. There's something magical about this level. The innocence is still intact. You still believe anything is possible. And you're right. Level 3, the elite youth program. You got noticed. A scout saw you play. A coach said, that kid has something. And right there, your life shifts. You leave your family. You enter an elite youth program, a development academy. You're 14, 15, 16 years old. And you're making adult decisions. This is the level where basketball stops being a game. It becomes a calling or a cage, depending on how you live it. Wake up at 6:30 a.m. Physical training, classes in the morning, technical practice in the afternoon, recovery, team dinner, lights out at 10 p.m., 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, with 2 weeks of vacation where you go back home and realize your childhood friends moved on without you. This is where a lot of players break. Not physically, mentally, homesickness, the pressure of results, internal competition between teammates who are also your rivals for a spot on the roster. And that question that comes back at night, in the dorm, do I still actually love basketball? Or am I doing this because I don't know how to do anything else? Kobe Bryant left home at 17 to pursue his dream professionally. He later talked about the loneliness of those early years and how it forged him mentally for everything that followed. This level forces you into independence. You manage your sleep, your nutrition, your stress alone. Nobody does it for you. You build deep resilience, cuts from the team, injuries, setbacks. You learn to get back up on your own, and you understand the real value of sacrifice. You realize that everything you truly want has a price, and you decide whether you're willing to pay it. Level 4, the semi-professional. You're semi-pro. Officially, you're getting paid to play basketball. Unofficially, you might still be working a side job to cover rent. Nobody romanticizes this level, and yet it might be the most formative of all, because here you play basketball in the real world. With its constraints, its compromises, its harshness. Salaries between $500 and $2,000 a month depending on the team. Road trips in a van at 5 in the morning for a game 200 miles away. gyms where the locker rooms have smelled like mildew since 1987. And despite all of that, you keep going. Because when you step on that court, everything else disappears. A lot of players at this level live a double life: basketball in the evenings and on weekends, school or a day job during the week. Some crack under the pressure. Others, the smartest ones, use this period to build an identity beyond the game. Because here's the brutal question this level forces you to face: do you keep believing in yourself even when the world doesn't see you yet? This level teaches you to manage frustration. You're not where you want to be. Not yet. How do you live with that without accepting it as your final destination? You discover the real value of invisible work. Nobody applauds you here. You work in the shadows. And it's in the shadows that you build the light. And you develop balance. Basketball, school, personal life, money, you're juggling everything. That ability to manage it all will serve you for the rest of your life, NBA or not. Level 5, the professional overseas. You're a professional, a real professional. Your name is in the papers. Fans recognize you. Your salary lets you live off basketball and live well. But with that status comes a weight nobody prepared you for. You change countries sometimes every season. New team, new language, new culture. Your family stays back home while you settle in Madrid, Belgrade, or Istanbul. You live in an apartment the team picked for you. You eat at restaurants your nutritionist approved. Your life is structured, managed, optimized. You have everything you wanted at 15. And sometimes, in a hotel room on a road trip, alone with your phone, you wonder why it doesn't feel exactly the way you imagined. One bad game and social media explodes. You learn to live under the permanent gaze of the public. Your agent works for you, but you need to understand what you're signing. Players have lost years by negotiating poorly. And for the first time, you really ask yourself, who am I outside of this game? There comes a moment in every overseas pro career when you realize basketball has an end, that your body will age, that the knees will start talking. The greatest players begin preparing for life after basketball at this level. The others wait and suffer when they retire. This level teaches you adaptability. You constantly adjust. Team, country, coach, system. That's the number one skill in the modern world. You grow as a human being through contact with different cultures, different worldviews, and you start to ask yourself what kind of player you want to be, what kind of man. The answers to those questions become clearer here. Level 6, the NBA, the top. You walk into an NBA arena for the first time as a professional player, not to watch, to play, and something happens in your chest that words don't fully capture. All the work, all the late nights in the gym, all the tears, all the doubt, all of it leads to this moment. 82 regular season games, playoffs that can run into June, private plane travel, sure, but 3 cities in 4 days, week after week. Your body is a war machine, and like every machine, it wears down. LeBron James spends over $1 million a year just on his physical recovery. That's not luxury, that's professional survival. Rookie contract, between 1 and 10 million depending on your draft position. Second contract, potentially 30, 50, 100 million dollars. And that's when the real test begins, not on the court, in your head. Nearly 60% of NBA players go broke within 5 years of retirement. Toxic entourage, catastrophic investments, uncontrolled generosity, unsustainable lifestyles. Scottie Pippen, 6-time NBA champion alongside Michael Jordan, nearly lost everything after his career. He said it himself. Nobody taught me how to manage money. Nobody. Every word you say gets analyzed. Your private life becomes public. You learn to protect what is sacred. Even at the highest level, especially at the highest level, nobody wins alone. The greatest NBA dynasties are stories of collective greatness. And you understand the temporary nature of success. The NBA gives you everything. And one day, it takes it all back. The average career lasts 4.5 years. Start preparing for what comes next from day 1. Level 7, life after the game. And then one day, it's over. Not always with a big ceremony. Sometimes just a call from your agent, a contract that never comes, a knee that gives out one time too many. And that's when the hardest question of your basketball life hits you. Who are you without the game? What few people understand and what players go through in terrible isolation is that athletic retirement feels like grief. You lose the structure, the brotherhood of the locker room, the adrenaline of game night, the feeling of belonging somewhere in this world. Studies show that elite athletes are particularly vulnerable to depression after their careers end. That's not weakness, that's human, but it's also a rebirth. The players who navigate this period with grace are the ones who built something beyond the sport. Magic Johnson became a billionaire businessman. Grant Hill became an art collector, a team owner, and a respected executive. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became an author and one of the most thoughtful voices in American culture. Basketball gave you extraordinary skills, discipline, resilience, teamwork, the ability to perform under pressure. Those skills, they're worth a fortune in the real world. Life after the game is not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. And the greatest players know it. Everything basketball taught you was preparing you for that life. From a schoolyard to an NBA court, from the blacktop to the championship podium. This journey, wherever you are on it today, it belongs to you. Because basketball isn't just a sport, it's a school of life. The most demanding, the most beautiful, the most honest one there is. If this video spoke to you, drop a like. It genuinely means a lot to me. Tell me in the comments, what level are you at today? And where do you want to go? Subscribe for more, and remember, every legend started with a simple ball and a whole lot of heart.